Do the thing.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
It is yet again that time for more movie reviews.
Woo!
We got a bit of a
Right.
mixed batch here.
We do. This week we finished out Pierce Brosnan with Die Another Day, and then we started Daniel Craig with his run of Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, which is pretty much a direct sequel to Casino Royale. Fun fact, I didn't know that.
Yep. It takes place literally right after the ending of Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But we start with Brosnan's last one.
Die Another Day came out in 2002 and was
You
directed
could definitely
by Lee
tell that it was
Tamahori.
an early 2000s one.
You really can. Leather trench coats abounds.
And lots of pop music.
Yeah, honestly. This one was directed by Lee Tamahori, which I realized we forgot to do the directors for the last batch, so I'll just go on that video and comment who did what, who directed what.
This is fine.
But, Die Another Day, Bond investigates North Korean Colonel Tan Sun Moon, who is illegally trading African conflict diamonds for weapons. Moon is apparently killed by Bond and is captured and Bond is captured and tortured for 14 months, after which he is exchanged for Zhao, Moon's assistant. Despite being suspended on his return, he decides to complete his mission and tracks down Zhao to a gene therapy clinic where patients can have their appearances altered through DNA reconstructing. Zhao escapes, but the trail leads to British billionaire Gustav Graves. Graves unveils a mirror satellite, Icarus, which is able to focus solar energy on a small area and provide year-round sunshine for crop development. Bond discovers that Moon has undergone the gene therapy and has assumed the identity of Graves. Bond then exposes Moon's plan to use the Icarus as a sun gun to cut a path through the Korean dematerialized zone with concentrated sunlight, allowing North Korea troops to invade South Korea and reunite the countries through force.
Yeah.
Bond disables the Icarus controls, kills Moon, and stops the invasion. That, for me personally, I don't know why anyone would name anything to do with the sun Icarus and expect it to go well.
I mean, that's the whole mythos there.
Yeah.
But
like,
the thing that's fun with
too close to the sun.
The thing that's fun with this one is the whole gene therapy thing. So the person that we have as the villain at the very beginning is still the same villain, but we don't realize it until close to the end.
Yeah, they just kind of whitewashed him.
They very much whitewashed this Korean man into a very pasty white British boy.
Yeah. And, like, there's a point where they bring back his father and they have, like, a small little confrontation.
And then he kills his father.
Yeah, spoilers.
But no, the movie... So this is the only time that we ever see prisoner of war stuff happen, because Bond is captured. He is held hostage for 14 months, tortured to the edge of death, almost at some points. So they inject him with lethal scorpion poison and then give him the antidote multiple times. But he is considered, as most people would do, compromised because, you know, he's been a prisoner of war. They don't know what he's said or hasn't said.
Yeah. So, hence why he was kind of sidelined, I guess you could say, once they exchanged him. But again, therapy.
Therapy doesn't exist.
Therapy. Fucking clearly. Jesus.
No, Bond is shown after these 14 months with extremely long head of hair, so his hair grows fast.
Yeah, honestly, because that was a good, I would say, 6 inches to 10 inches of growth for his hair, which is
probably more on the 10-inch side, because whenever we started, it was the very short cut.
Yeah. And then by the time we're done, it's like it's past his shoulders almost.
It's right past shoulders, above the shoulder blade, really. He has Jesus hair.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it. And of course, this one is following a lot of Brosnan's movies where the cast is decently stacked. Of course, this one is the one that has Halle Berry as the Bond girl.
Halle Berry does a fucking good job as Jinx.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Toby Stephens is the main bad guy once the whole face swap thing happens. Yeah, which I didn't realize until I was watching the movie, and I look up the actors and stuff like that because I can't pay attention to shit apparently. But he's the child of Maggie Smith and someone else. The husband's not important. It's Maggie Smith.
He does a good job as the villain. You really want to kill him.
I will say, at least with that one and the one that we just finished watching, Quantum of Solace, you just really want the villains to die. A whole punchable face.
I will say this last one for Brosnan had one of the best fight scenes in it with the whole fencing academy.
Yeah, honestly.
The sword fight is just so clean. And really very destructive.
Very destructive. I also like how they just go through several different fucking types of swords in the process.
They went from the initial rapiers, then we went into short swords, then they eventually landed onto great swords.
Yep. And I swear at one point he grabbed a katana.
I don't think there was a katana, but it was also a British fighting school, so...
Oh yeah, probably not then.
The other thing that we have here is once again another MI6 agent betraying.
Yeah.
Miss Frost, who is posing as a secretary for Gustav Graves, is actually working for MI6, but M decides that Bond needs to be on the case as he's found more information than she has in the 3 months 3 years? 3 months. I think it was 3 months.
Oh.
Well, remember the face change was within 14 months of Bond being captured, so it had to have been only 3 months. It might not say, but it definitely wasn't 3 years because he hadn't been Gustav Graves for 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'd found no information in whatever time she was with him, and Bond finds out a bunch of stuff within, 10 minutes of doing shit. Go figure.
Yeah, the usual amount of James Bond chicanery. Oh god. I forgot this was the one with the fucking ice palace.
Yes, the ice palace.
That whole thing irked the ever-loving shit out of me because the idea of an ice palace, while pretty, is so stupid and impractical unless you have actual honest-to-God furniture in it. Because, for example, Jinx, Halle Berry's character, was in a mostly backless dress, so she's not going to be able to sit on any of the fucking chairs or anything like that.
See, I don't know if everything was made of ice, but a lot of it was, and the beds themselves, they're made of ice. Fucking uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Not to mention, your body heat is going to melt anything that is made of ice, so even if you're just there for the evening for the party,
you're gonna be wet.
Leave with a wet ass. Yeah. So it's dumb and impractical. It looked really pretty, but 0 out of 10.
We also had a really funny fight among a bunch of lasers because we did copy the whole laser slicing thing from Goldfinger.
Yeah, there's been a couple of callbacks to Goldfinger, and I didn't... We all know how we felt about that one.
Overall, the movie itself is good, and it's a good send-off for Brosnan, I feel like.
It really was. Honestly, with this one, I would probably watch it again. It's really funny because the critic score was 56%. The audience score was only 41% because they just really didn't like Brosnan. for
No,
whatever
Brosnan
reason.
was very lowly rated for all of his movies. I don't know why.
I don't know. Honestly, with this one, I'd probably give it like a 70s or 80s. One that I could put on again, at least for background noise, even if I don't pay attention to it.
It's in the 80s for me, but up through most of Brosnan and into Craig is 80s and above for me.
We'll get to that in a second.
I'm just saying, I'm biased to them. They're high up for me.
That's fair. They are the more recent Bond movies, so they're going to.
I mean, considering Brosnan was started when I was born as Bond, yeah, grew up with it basically.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I just looked at the director for the next one, and it's the same guy that directed GoldenEye, the one that came out the year you were born. So we love that.
Yep. Casino Royale, the better version.
That is a low bar. We actually finished this one. Casino Royale, this one came out in 2006. It was directed by Martin Campbell. And again, he also directed GoldenEye, which we forgot to mention last time. But
it's fine.
This serves as a reboot of the series, with Bond, now played by Daniel Craig, gaining his 00 status in the pre-credits sequence. We actually get to see how it's done, and we find out that apparently you have to kill 2 people.
2 kills to get your license to kill.
Yeah. Bond tracks down and kills a bomb maker and takes his mobile phone. Searching through the phone, Bond discovers a text message, which he traces to Alex Dimitrios. And then on to terrorist financer. Say that one for me again. It's this dude's name.
Lashif.
Thank you. There's an R in there for no damn ass reason.
It's French. They don't pronounce half their fucking letters.
Look up the French word for bird if you ever want to understand my grievances. He traces it to Alex Dimitrios and the terrorist financer Lachif, who short sells stock in successful companies and then engineers terrorist attacks to sink their share prices. Bond foils Lashif's plan to destroy the prototype Skyfleet airliner, which forces Lashif to set up a high-stakes poker tournament at the Casino Royale to recoup his fortune. Bond is instructed to beat Lashif and is aided by a member of HM Treasury, Vesper Lynn. Bond beats Lashif at the poker table, but Lynn is kidnapped by Lashif after the game, as is Bond, who is captured while pursuing them. Lynn is ransomed for the money. Bond is tortured. There's a lot of torture in these. Lashif is subsequently killed by Mr. White, a liaison between Lashif and a number of his clients. Bond learns that his poker winnings were never repaid to the Treasury, which Lynn was supposed to have done, and establishes that she was a double agent. A lot of those in this one, too. Bond pursues her and is attacked by members of White's organization. He survives, but White takes the money and Lynn sacrifices herself to save Bond. As he later finds out from M, Bond subsequently finds and captures White.
And that's how that movie ends. It ends with White getting... But back to...
It's a nice little villa.
Yeah.
Dude gets a gunshot to the knee. It happens, I'm sure. This one, of the 3 that we've watched, it's really hard to place what I would for like rankings for these. This one we had Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, I think is what it is.
Mikkelsen? Everyone knows the dude's face. But he was Lashif, which was a lot of fun because he's always a really good actor and honestly a really good bad guy.
He is a good bad guy for this.
Most of the stuff that he plays.
Rest in peace to him.
This movie. Wait, did he die?
I'm pretty sure he is.
No, I don't think he's dead.
I thought I saw.
No, dude's still alive.
Then who was Nate saying had passed away for this one?
Was he thinking that Judi Dench had passed? She's still alive too.
He had said rest in peace to someone of the casting here.
I'm looking at the cast list, and I guarantee Mads and Daniel Craig are the only two that he knows. He might know Jeffrey Wright, but I doubt it.
I don't know. He had said something about it, but it's whatever.
No, Mads is still alive.
I just saw that.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
But yeah. But we're also introduced to this era's Felix Leiter, who is a repeating character. We finally get the same Felix for at least a couple of movies. I don't know about the next.
He's the Felix in all of Craig.
Yay! Good for him. He's played by Jeffrey Wright, which, if anyone has ever seen Hunger Games, will recognize him as Beetee. So that was a fun little thing. And Eva Green, I don't know if it's Eva or Ava, but she was Vesper Lynn.
Yeah. And so, decently stacked for the cast in this one.
Yeah, still stacked, honestly. This one, depending on how folks feel about action movies in general, this one might drag a little bit in the middle during the whole thing with the poker game. It's very suspenseful and high stakes, and you can feel the stakes, but at the same time, if
there is multiple times in interrupting of the poker game itself. You have a couple of action scenes. One where the chief is being threatened because he lost a bunch of money for a certain people that had invested in him, so they're trying to intimidate him. We have Bond end up killing people that were intimidating him. Vesper is later seen in a shower, still clothed. Trauma. There's a lot of trauma there because she helped kill somebody. She's just an accountant. She's never had to do this before.
Yeah, honestly, again, all three of these movies could have just been everyone needs trauma.
Everyone needs therapy. We also have...
Everyone needs trauma.
Everyone does have trauma, though. But we have also in the middle where Bond gets poisoned and basically is dead. He's passed the fuck out. Vesper manages to revive his ass with a CPR machine.
I'm pretty sure at one point his heart does stop.
It did.
So
we get the full flat line. We get the full flat line there. And then he just bolts right up after getting revived back to the poker game.
Like, everything's fine.
No, because literally the people on the phone from MI6 are telling him, go to the hospital. He said, I will after I win this. And then never goes to the hospital.
I don't think he's to the fucking hospital. Honestly, I feel like, and I understand the tournament is supposed to be 24 hours long, so they will be taking breaks in the middle of it, but I feel like had the whole poker thing been one scene with limited interruptions, it probably would have been better for me, because all of the stopping and going back and starting over and people dying and people fighting and people getting fucking poisoned, it just kind of took away from it for me.
See, this is
like we were doing several different things at once.
Yeah, this was, like you had said before, it's almost a reboot of everything.
Yeah.
So they tried to change it up a bit. I don't mind it at all, but for some people that were used to a lot of the more action heavy from the previous ones, this would have been a decent turnoff for them. However, this is the highest rated one for Brosnan. Or not Brosnan, Craig. This is the highest rated of his.
I noticed that. I want to say this is the second highest rated Bond movie overall.
No, because we had a 99 and a 97. 99 being fucking Goldfinger.
Oh, for some reason. Oh, okay, this is the third then, because this is 94.
Yeah. But overall, a very different take on Bond. We also see a lot of tendencies to this one, maybe just because of who is playing, being autistic.
we ended up looking it up as well, and Daniel Craig has never confirmed being autistic. He has confirmed being dyslexic, but a lot of people, at least, like Kitty said, when I was looking it up, had the same question if this Bond was autistic. I don't know if he could be considered autistic, but he is definitely more detached in a way.
The most autistic one that we actually have is Roger Moore.
Yeah, all that random knowledge this motherfucker had.
But you can see some of the tendencies with this one. There's a lot of something doesn't go quite to plan and it throws him for a loop.
And he does at least seem like he completely shuts down for a minute when that happens. Like if it's not quite full on meltdown, but it is, all right, well, we need to refigure out what the fuck we're gonna do.
Because we had one of those in the middle of the poker game where he lost after going all in, thinking, oh, I know this guy's bluff. And no, you didn't. And we just see after everyone's walked away from the table, he's just sitting there, head in his hands for a couple minutes.
Yeah. Which honestly, I wouldn't chalk up to being potentially autistic, because if you just lost like $14 million, or however fuck much he had at the time, you would probably sit there for a minute too.
Yeah.
At least I would.
Then we have the big torture scene at the end where you were completely shocked of entirely naked. They stripped him down entirely.
For folks who haven't seen the torture scene specifically, they found a chair that had a wicker bottom. They cut the bottom out of the chair, had this man stripped down to his bare ass, and sit him in the chair so his ass is hanging out the bottom. Then they took a very large, thick-ass rope. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but it's a big-ass, thick-ass rope.
It's a flog of sorts.
Sure, a flog. And proceeded to smack the underside of the chair, hitting him in the balls with it. I feel like you could have achieved the same thing with him still having his boxers on. I imagine it's probably a humiliation tactic.
It's supposed to be. But one of the lines that I love from that scene is, everyone is going to know that you died scratching my balls.
Again, though, we're gonna go back to the just shoot Bond thing, and I feel like that would solve a lot of people's problems.
All these villains would be just fine if they just shot his ass.
Pretty much. Like, all of these evil schemes would go through just like they want if they would just shoot Bond the first time they saw him.
And now the main reason they didn't shoot him in this one was because needing the password to get all the money and stuff. Because, that's the entire reason the chief was trying to go after it, was so he didn't die. Well, he still died at the end.
Yeah.
And then after that whole situation, we have a case where Vesper and Bond go on what you could consider, I guess, a honeymoon using...
More or less.
They didn't get married, but it was close enough.
Yeah. Like, this man even sent in a resignation letter while they were doing this whole honeymoon-esque thing right before she betrays him and takes the money to try and...
And we figure out the reason that she betrayed is because the person that she was in love with prior had been kidnapped, which didn't actually, but blackmail stuff. So she wasn't exactly a double agent. It was a case of blackmail.
Yeah, a case of a lover trying to do everything she can to protect the one that she loved, which...
Doesn't actually love her back.
No. Yeah, that whole thing. But that was a very strange interlude to the movie after everything that had happened. It almost reminded me a little bit of oh god, Lazenby on Her Majesty's Secret Service, where at the end we just have like this whole fake happily ever after. They're getting married, everything's going absolutely great, and then surprise, she dies.
I mean, that is basically what we had here.
Yeah. So, moral of the story, kids, if you meet a man named James Bond, don't sleep with him.
And then we had the ending we talked about with Mr. White getting shot in the knee, and we just see this scene of Bond standing over him, introducing himself. Fade to black.
Yeah.
Credits. Then we move on to Quantum of Solace, a direct sequel to this one. Like literally taking place the same day when you start.
Before we get to that one, though, we said
ratings.
A second ago, critics' rating for this was 94. Audience was 90. It was pretty good. It was a nice little change of pace. But you definitely get the feeling that Daniel Craig is a lot more of a loose cannon when it comes to his portrayal of Bond.
Oh, he very much is, because he has a lot of people die. A lot of people die with him.
He does, and he's a cause of a lot of it. I would probably hit this one with a good 75, 80%.
85 to 90.
Yeah, this is one I'd put on again. And probably like half pay attention to, put it on for background noise. This is one that I could revisit.
I get the feeling the next one we're going to end up watching you are going to enjoy a lot more.
I'm hopeful for Skyfall and Spectre, because we have seen No Time to Die. That was the second movie that we watched whenever we did Shrix's birthday movie double feature thing.
3 years ago at this point.
And I remember liking it. So it'll be interesting to watch it again from a standpoint of having seen all of the Bond movies.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go on to the big bitch. Quantum of Solace.
The big bitch as in opinions of it, not as in movie, because it is actually, I think, the shortest of all Bond movies at an hour and 45.
Ow. Quantum of Solace came out in 2008. It was directed by Mark Forster. Bond and M interrogate Mr. White regarding his organization Quantum. M's bodyguard, Mitchell, a double agent, attacks M, enabling White to escape. Bond traces the organization to Haiti and a connection to environmentalist Dominic Green, punchable face number 2.
Yes.
Bond uncovers a plot between Green and an exiled Bolivian general, Medrano, punchable face number 3, to put Medrano, I'm probably also mispronouncing this guy's name, in power in Bolivia while Quantum is given a monopoly to run the water supply to the country. Bond ascertains that Quantum is damming Bolivia's supply of fresh water to force its price up. With the help from Bolivian secret agent Camila Montez, Bond
I think it was former for that, but
I'm just going by what this article says.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think it was claimed that she was a former agent.
It's a possibility. With Montez's help, Bond attacks the hotel where Green and Medrano are finalizing their plans and leaves.
Run by hydrogen power.
We'll get to that. Leaves Green stranded in the middle of the desert with only a tin of engine oil to drink. Spoilers. Bond then finds Vesper's former lover and member of Quantum, Yusef Kabira, bringing him to justice. Also spoilers. Spoilers about this movie. I'm going to let Shrix go first.
So, this one is by far the weakest one for Craig. It's short. It is a direct sequel to one that was a very big change, and you have a case of trauma dumping almost at this point, because Craig's Bond has closed himself off to everything after what happened with Vesper, even saying to the point of, she didn't mean anything to me, when we know for a fact she fucking did.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't put in your letter of resignation for someone that didn't mean anything to you, but okay.
Yeah.
Go off, sir.
So we go with the beginning, him having White in the back of his trunk while he's being chased by somebody, and the Italian police, I think it is, because they're still in Italy there.
Yeah, because I made that comment about a lot of these take place in Italy.
Yeah. And somehow this man is not dead by the time they get to the underground basement where they're interrogating him, because that was a rough fucking ride for him. But we have a whole thing where M finds out one of her most trusted advisors is actually double agent, and she's not injured, luckily. She manages not to get shot, but her pride is extremely damaged. And there's a lot of points where Craig is seen as a loose cannon, killing people that didn't need to be killed because they needed to question them. And eventually the CIA has a warrant out for either arrest or killing him.
Yeah, and I will say this, a lot of the people that wound up dead, he didn't kill. He was just...
He got blamed.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's gone rogue, so obviously he did it. Also, I like how this quick little synopsis didn't mention Miss Fields, like, at all.
No, Miss Strawberry Fields, who is a random liaison sent to bring him back home after he's gone AWOL. He somehow very quickly manages to get her to sleep with him because weirdness. And then yeah. She is killed in a very Goldfinger-ish manner. She is covered in oil and apparently was drowned in it. And she's left in a very similar position to how the one from Goldfinger was.
Yeah, I imagine they probably just dunked her in a giant vat of oil or something and let her drown, and then just like, this is a complete sidebar, which is honestly just normal for us at this point. Oil doesn't act like that.
No.
So this woman was coated in it as if it were the same consistency as a paint. Like
it's almost like it was very well used motor oil, almost molasses.
Yeah, honestly, because it didn't even look like it was moving around or like dripping onto the bed where they found her, and there's no telling how long she had been left like that, because by the time we get back to the hotel room where her body is, M and all of her people are there, and we just get like this quick little, there's Miss Strawberry. I still don't like that name.
She was a redhead.
Yeah, they named the redhead Strawberry Fields. I'm sure it's a nod to the Beatles, but come on, y'all. Her parents hated her.
And then after all of this, they go out in the middle of the desert with the Bond girl. I don't remember her name.
The Bond girl was Camila Montez.
Camila Montez. Yes.
Yeah.
And this hotel in the middle of the desert is powered by hydrogen gas, something very flammable, and they proceed to blow the place up while Camilla gets her revenge on the man who, I'm not going to say the R word, and killed her mother.
And also like killed her sister, or I believe he killed all of her family.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And then we have Dominic Green over here being a weak-ass fucking fighter, manages to impale himself in the foot with a fire axe.
Honestly, that made me laugh. Like, it made me wince, but that was just fucking funny.
Bond has himself Yeah. How are you bad at fighting? Yes, you managed to fucking injure yourself. But Bond has himself a little grow-up moment. He doesn't end up killing him. He takes him out into the middle of the desert, leaves him to wander, throws him No. And even then, he wasn't the one that killed him. Because M at the end says they found him with 2 bullet holes in the back of his head and a stomach full of motor oil. So he did end up drinking the motor oil, but Bond is not the one that killed him.
I mean, we assume that he drank it willingly. Like, I imagine the people that shot him in the back of the head, because we don't see who did that. I imagine they probably made him drink it. It's
very possible. But we also have at the end where he goes and confronts the lover of Vesper. Doesn't actually end up killing him. I'm assuming it's CIA or something, arrest the guy, because there's 2 men that go into the building afterwards. And we have the end there where M is like, I need you back. It's like, I never left.
Also, we have the return of Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter, and apparently his boss, Greg Beam, which is played by David Harbour, punchable face number 4.
He's a dick.
He's such a dick, which is good on him for being able to portray someone that you want to punch in the face. But another little aside, at the end of it, we get a small little thing that Felix got a promotion and replaced David Harbour's character, so good for him.
And made the comment the right people kept their jobs.
Yeah. This one was a struggle for me.
You personally said this one was low.
This one was low. Before we even got to the point of the callback for Goldfinger, where we found Strawberry Fields in the dead girl position, I was already struggling with it because I want to say we had paused it at that point twice already just because of stupid shit.
You paused once for having to go and do something. I remember that, but
I paused once because I think I had to swap laundry or use the bathroom or something. But I want to say I paused it again just because it said or someone said or did something that bugged me.
I mean, we had the henchman with the weird ass fucking hairdo.
And falling down the steps was great. Good on her.
I wonder if they actually have, because in one of the scenes in this one, they are a bunch of the villainous characters are at an opera with secret little earpieces trying to come up with a plan, and I want to see if they have what opera was in there.
I wasn't able to find it on the wiki pages. I imagine we might be able to Google specifically what opera was in Quantum of Solace, and we might get an answer. Which, by the way, pro tip, if you're doing anything illegal in an opera and you're talking to a bunch of people on a random earpiece and someone just hacks into the channels that y'all are using, don't get up and try to run away.
According to this, during that scene, it's a thing hidden in plain sight during a performance of Puccini's Tosca. Something I've never heard of before.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that one, but it looked cool.
But yeah, he makes a comment of, I believe you guys should find a better place to hold these meetings, and most everybody gets up, so he's able to snap a picture of every person's face and get them identified.
Yeah.
The only one that didn't, if you recognize his face, was Mr. White.
I didn't recognize his face.
Yep.
Honestly, I didn't remember Mr. White from the last one.
Yep, Mr. White was there. He was the one that didn't get up.
That would explain why he's the smart one. He's like, nah, I did this before. I'm good. I know what's gonna happen. Also, with his bad knee, he probably couldn't get up.
It's very possible.
Who is calling me? Nah.
They can wait.
Pretty much. Sorry,
So,
I'm busy. I'm bitching about James Bond.
Ratings for this one.
The ratings for this one, critics rated it 63%, audience gave it 58%. I'm probably going to be closer to the audience, honestly. It's not one that I see myself rewatching.
It is my least rewatched, but I have still rewatched it. I'd give it a 70-ish, but I'm also somewhat biased on these.
That's fine. You are very much allowed to be biased on movies. I'm looking at the ratings for the next batch, and Skyfall's the next highest rating for
Skyfall also holds a dear place in my heart because I used a monologue from that for one of my acting classes.
This is going to be fun. I feel like Skyfall is probably going to be one of my favorites. And I'm not
Judi Dench has such a strong role in Skyfall. It is also her last stint as M.
Am I going to cry?
You might.
Damn it.
But that's something to look forward to for next time. That probably will not be this week because I'm on call. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're tentatively gonna try and do this the last week of the month for February, simply because, like Strick said, they're on call, so that means we're not gonna have time to do shit.
No, because it'll be a case if we try to start this, I'm going to get calls to go out instantly. That's always how it goes.
Albert Finney's in Skyfall. What the okay.
Huh?
Albert Finney's in Skyfall. I'm just looking up like the cast of the movies.
I gotcha. But yeah. So look forward, because that will be the final one for James Bond whenever we do the movies and recording for that one. And then we're going to see about maybe doing some other movie series or some TV series things.
Yeah.
Because it's been fun doing these. It'll be nice to keep them going. That's just a little thing for the channel.
Yeah. And as always, if you have any suggestions about movies or shows that you want us to watch and weigh in on, let us know. Feel free to leave a comment so we can figure out pretty much where to go from here.
Also, leave down in the comments your opinions of these movies if you've seen them. Let us know how you would rate them.
Feel free to tell me I'm dumb for not liking Quantum of Solace.
You are more than welcome to say that our opinions are dumb, although opinions are that. They are our own thing.
Yeah. It was nominated for awards, so good for them.
Yes. But hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it. Trying to get to maybe 100 by the end of the year. Who knows? And if you enjoy what we've been doing, what we've been talking about, make sure to hit that like button. Helps spread it out to some other people. And also, yes.
And also check out Shrix as they stream on Twitch. They just recently started Expedition 33.
I celebrated 5 years as an affiliate today.
Yep. Gosh, 5 years.
We've known each other almost that long.
Yeah, we have. Condolences to our parents' peace of mind.
I hope you guys have a good rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.
Bye.